Okay, we're now going to look in this video about solving simultaneous equations with three unknowns. So we've got a set of three equations here, and we're going to talk through how we go about solving these. Okay, so the example, we have got equation 1, 2, and 3. So they'll be labeled like this in the exam. I would just add in ... equation 1, ... equation 2, ... equation 3. This really, you'll see, is part of your working out. Okay, in a question like this, you've got three equations, three unknowns. What you want to do is eliminate one of your variables from the equations. So you start with three equations and two unknowns, and you need to get to a position where you've got two equations and two unknowns, and then you can solve those as you would have done normal two simultaneous equations. So I'm just going to pick something. Quite often there's an easier thing to get rid of, but in this one it's not too obvious, so I'm just going to pick something that I want to eliminate. So I'm going to say elim A, so that just means eliminate A, and I'm going to think, how am I going to eliminate A from these equations? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply my equation 1 by 2, and notice that's the first thing I've done is written down. This is my explanation of what I'm doing. I've done my equation 1 by 2, so I'm going to get 2A plus 2B plus 2C is equal to 4. And then I'm going to write down my second equation. So that's 2A minus B plus 3C is equal to minus 1. That was my second equation. So I multiplied my first equation by 2 so that I would have the same number of A's in both of these equations now. And they're both positive 2A. That means I'm going to subtract. So I'm just going to do my 2 times my equation 1 minus my equation 2. 2A minus 2A is 0. 2B minus B is going to be 3B. And 2C minus 3C is minus C. And 4 minus 1 is 4 plus 1, which is going to be 5. And I'm going to call this thing equation 4. So I've created a new equation. Okay, and we're going to use equation 1 and equation 3 now to eliminate my A's. So what I'm going to need to do is multiply my equation 1 by 3, which is going to give me 3A plus 3B plus 3C is equal to 6. Then I'm going to write down my equation 3 beneath it, which was 3A plus 2B minus 2C is equal to 15. That was my equation 3. And again, I have the same number of A's in both equations, so I'm going to subtract. So again, I'm just going to do 3 times my equation 1 minus my equation 3 and see what I get. 3A minus 3A is 0. 3B minus 2B is going to be B. And 3C minus 2C is 3C plus 2C. So that's B plus 5C. And 6 minus 15 is going to be minus 9. And again, I will call that equation 5. Okay, I'll go over here to finish this off. I've now got my equation 3, my equation 4, my equation 5. And I'm going to see what I'm going to do with this. So I'll just write those down. I'll not write those down just yet. What I will do is I'm going to try and eliminate the B's. So first thing I'm going to do is to say solve equation 4 and 5. So I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to do is 3B plus 15C is equal to minus 27. So that was 3 times my equation 5. And then I'll write down my equation 4. That was my equation 4. And then what I'm going to do is subtract. So 3 times that equation 5 minus the equation 4. 3b minus 3b, they disappear. 15c minus c is going to be 16c. And minus 27, minus 5 is going to be minus 32. So c works out to be minus 32 divided by 16. So c works out to be minus 2. All right, I would be pretty confident I've got that right if I got that in an exam. We're then going to say sub into equation 4. So put that into equation 4. Put that into equation 4, you're going to have 3b minus my c, which is minus 2, is equal to 5. So that's going to be 3b is equal to 5 minus 3b is equal to 5 minus the 2. So just work here. That's going to be 3b is equal to 3. So your b is equal to 1. So I've got my b and I've got my c. We can then sub those both into equation 1. So sub into equation 1. So this is my original equation 1. which was a, plus b. Instead of b, I'm going to write 1 plus my c, which was minus 2, and that was equal to 2. So that's a minus 1 is equal to 2, so a is equal to 3. Now the nice thing about simultaneous equations is you're able to check them. So we're just going to say check in, and we've used equation 1, so we can't check in equation 1. We're going to check in equation 2. Equation 2 was 2a. 2a we now know, or we now hope, is 3. Our b was 1, and then plus 3 times my c, which was minus 2. And if you do that out, what you will get, that's going to be equal to 6 minus 1 minus 6, which is equal to minus 1, which is what it was meant to be. So we know we have got that right. Okay, you are now ready to do from your Algebra and Equations worksheet, exercise 3a, and the odds would be in this example. It says a coal merchant sells 3 bags of solid fuel priced at X pounds, Y pounds, and Z pounds respectively. A table below gives a number of bags of coal bought by 2 customers and the total amount spent. So you've got the table, and then it says a third customer bought the given number of bags but received a 10% discount on the coal and 20% on the logs. So A and B are charged at the same price, but C is getting charged a different price. Find the values of X, Y, and Z. To do this, we have to first of all set up the equation. So I will do a wee bit of writing here just to save us a bit of time, and then we will have a look at how we've got these set up. Okay, so we've set up the equations. We're going to say customer A, customer B, and customer C, and what they have got. Okay, so customer A, he is fairly straightforward. He gets 2 bags of coal priced at X, 3 logs priced at Y, and 4 bits of turf priced at Z, and the total cost is £38.50, and that is going to be your equation 1. Customer B is very straightforward as well. 3 bags of coal, 1 log at Y, and 2 Zs, or 2 things of turf, so at Z, and that is 37 pounds on the button. And the last one is a wee bit trickier. Okay, so for the last person, the third customer, it says here, the third customer bought the given number of bags but received a 10% discount on the coal. So a 10% discount, it means instead of X, it's 0.9x. Remember, to give something a 10% discount, you multiply it by 0.9. So the 5 bags of coal are priced at 0.9x. And a 20% discount on logs. So instead of being charged Y, he's charged only 0.8 Y for the logs, and he buys 5 logs. And, oops, sorry, I've forgotten the turf. So turf as well, he has 2Z, and that his total cost is £58.75. So £58.75, and that's your equation 3. We'll just tidy that one up a wee bit, that equation. That's just a bit of a mess, that one. So if you multiply that multiply it out, tidy it up, you're going to get 4.5x plus 4y plus 2z is equal to £58.75. So that's my new improved equation 3. Okay, all we're left to do now is to go through and solve these. And if I have a wee look here, if you have a look at your equations, equation 1, you've got a 4z in it. Equation 2, you've got a 2z in it. Equation 3, you've got a 2z in it. So definitely, as far as I can see, it looks like it's going to be easiest to eliminate the z. So we'll say that. So eliminate z. So first thing I'm going to do is, and I'm doing a bit more working out in one go here without showing everything here, but I'm doing equation 1 minus 2 times equation 2, and this is going to be my new equation 4. So why I'm doing this, I have my equation 1, which is 4z in it, and I'm taking away 2 times my equation 2, because that will get me 4z's in my equation 2. So if you do that, equation 1 minus 2 times this, so 2x minus 6x will be minus 4x, and it's going to be 3y minus 2y, which is going to be plus y, and the 4z minus 4z is 0, and then you've got 38.50 minus 37 times 2, so 38.50 minus 74 is going to give you minus 35.5. So that's what you're going to get here. Okay, a wee bit more straightforward for my fifth equation. I can just do equation 2 minus equation 3 to get my equation 5. So equation 2 minus equation 3 is just going to be minus 1.5x minus 3y, and that's going to be equal to minus 21.75. Okay, we now want to clearly in this one, we want to solve these. So solve 4 and 5. So the easiest thing in here would be eliminating your y term. So I'm just going to multiply. So I should say what I'm doing. This is 3 times my equation 4. So I'm going to get minus 12x plus 3y, and 3 times a minus 35.5 would be minus 106.5. Okay, now if we just add those, if you add those two things together, those last two equations, so this is my 3 times equation 4 plus my equation 5, that's just going to give me minus 13.5x is equal to minus, oops, sorry, let's scroll that out, that's minus 13.5x is equal to minus 128.25. So divide across by the minus 13.5 and you will get x equals 9.5. Okay, once you've found your x value, sub it into your equation 4. So we'll just say sub into equation 4, and if you sub that into equation 4, you're going to have minus 4 times 9.5 plus y is equal to minus 35.5. So your y is equal to minus 35.5 plus the 4 times the 9.5. And if you do that on your calculator, you will get to 0.5. So you found your x and you found your y. We'll just put that back into equation 1. So sub both of those into equation 1. And if you sub them both into equation 1, you're going to have 2x plus 3 times the y, which we now know is 2.5, plus 4 times, oh, sorry, that's not right. We have got our x already. We've got our x already. So it was 2 times the x. So the x was 9.5, so 2 times 9.5 plus 3 times the 2.5 plus 4z is equal to 38.50. And if you bring all those things across, you're going to get your 4z is equal to 12. That means z is just equal to 3. And that's what you've got. Okay, so you've got your x equals 9.5, your y equals 2.5, your z equals 3. What we can do is just check to see if we're right. So check in, we've used equation 1, so check in equation 2. So it was 3 times the x, which was 9.5, plus my y, which is 2.5, plus my z, 2z, sorry, which was 3. And if you do that, you will get 37. So you know you're right. Okay, we haven't answered the question. Read the question again. It says, find the values of x, y, and z. We have answered it, sorry. It doesn't ask you to find costs or anything else, so you don't have to put any units in. So your answer, just tidy it up for the examiner. X is equal to 9.5. Y is equal to 2.5. And z is equal to 3. Okay, folks, you're now ready to do your last exercise on Algebra and Equations. So it's exercise 3B in your question booklet, and again, it is the odds.